Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 23rd of November 2021. Today in Millwall News, we're going to have the Bournemouth preview, but before all that, we've got a few stories coming out today. I'm going to start off with this one. This is from a comment about Gary Rowett. This is from news@den.co.uk. And Gary Rowett's been talking about next season. Now, we got confirmation earlier last week that there were the mid-season break for the World Cup that will be held in Qatar would take place, and I had made comments about it in a video, and it seems that the EFL Championship will have a break until the quarter-final stage, and then the games will resume. This is a bit weird, because if England are in the quarterfinals and then the semi-finals, there's going to be some kind of fixture clash. So you're going to find a lot of people who bought probably train tickets or tickets to games, away games, suddenly having to get those games moved or postponed or the kickoff changed. But we will see. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they know more than what I do, but yeah. So whereas the Premier League are going to be out for most of the tournament, I think through to the end of the tournament. But it is what it is. So what did he say? So, Millwall manager discusses July 2022-23 kickoff and mid-season break during World Cup. That's another thing. The kickoff's going to be a week earlier when we would normally have our last big home friendly. That week is going to be the first game of the season now, next season. So Gary Rowett quipped he hopes that we'll be confronted by a problem next summer with the 22-23 season set to start in July. Championship clubs will have a month's break as the schedule is adjusted with the 2022 World Cup in Qatar taking place next winter. The Championship League 1 and League 2 will kick off on Saturday, July 30, with the potential problem being in the playoffs at the end of that campaign. Yeah, exactly. So if we do manage to squeak into the playoffs in that 6th position, we're going to have another 2 games, which will take us to the middle of May. And then I can't see us getting through that if we get that. But even if we get to the final, that's going to take us to the end of May. Players are going to have June off, and then they're going to come back to pre-season training start of July for games, the first league game of the season on the end of July. So the World Cup is over a 5-week period in November and December 2022. Round 16 of the Championship, set to take place on Saturday, November 2012, will be the final round of fixtures played before the World Cup. The Championship will kick off again on December 10th, following the end of the group stages of the tournament and the first knockout round. League 1 and League 2 fixtures will continue as normal, with the existing international calls postponement criteria applying. The Premier League will recommence on Boxing Day. So we're coming back on December 10. Premier League's come back on Boxing Day, so an extra 16 days for them. The EFL Cup is set to start the week commencing August 8th, with the final at Wembley Stadium on Sunday, February 26. The final day of the 22-23 season in the Championship, League 1 and League 2 will be across the weekend of Saturday, May 6, 2023. The EFL playoff final scheduled for the bank holiday weekend of May 27-29. Clubs have had consecutive disrupted seasons due to COVID-19 restrictions. The 1920 Championship campaign didn't end until July 22 after the first lockdown saw fixtures suspended for more than 3 months. There was then less than 2 months before the start of the 2021 season, with clubs having to condense their pre-season preparations after a shorter break for players. That campaign's schedule was packed into a truncated season with Euro 2020 taking place in the summer of 2021. Rowett doesn't feel too inconvenienced by the earlier start to the next campaign or the break in fixtures, which he believes will allow his players to have a mid-season breather. The only way Millwall will have players involved in the tournament is if they sign them in January or in next summer's transfer window. The Lions are currently poised just outside the top 6, and Rowett has said he expects a playoff challenge
If Millwall finish in the top 6 in the second tier for the first time since 2002, and go on to reach the Championship playoff final for the first time in their history, then they will have to adjust their summer plans. But that wouldn't be a concern for Rowett, as he was asked about the break in fixtures and earlier start next season. It poses a slight issue in that you're probably going to get a week less break, Rowett said. But I think it only truly causes any team a problem if they're involved in the playoffs, essentially. It would be nice if it does cause us some problems. It would be a problem I like to have, along with a lot of other clubs. But if you look at the last couple of summers, they've been affected by COVID anyway, so we're kind of used to that disruption a little bit. It will be strange. I believe we're going to get 2 or 3 weeks without a game in winter. It will be an opportunity to give that a week back to the players and have a mid-season break almost. It will be interesting to see how it works. It's going to be a little bit unconventional, to say the least, but I'm sure clubs will adapt. And here's the thing as well. So, managers, most notably Arsene Wenger, have been going on years and years and years and years about, oh, we need a mid-season break in England. Why don't you have a mid-season? Why don't you have a winter break in England? Everyone else does it. Why don't you? And now we're going to find out if it actually, what the impact of a winter break would be. Well, it's not really winter. It's kind of autumn, isn't it? In November. It's not that cold for us here. The cold is generally in January, December, January. Maybe sometime in February. So we'll find out though what the impact of an actual winter break will be. Will the players actually get a breather? Will they come back and be a bit? Will it be off the pace because they've had a little break, had too many mince pies? Now some of the players, most of the players in the Premier League will probably go and be playing in the World Cup, so they won't have a break technically. But most of the other players will. So how will that impact them? It will be interesting to see. Probably more interesting than the actual World Cup in Qatar, which is an absolute shitfest. We will see. So there you go around saying, yeah, it's going to be weird, but so what? Got to deal with it. So the club put this out today. This is from millwallfc.co.uk, and it's the half-season tickets. They are on sale now. They're not valid yet. They will be valid from the 23rd of December, so the first game after that. They're on sale now. Millwall Football Club's 21-22 half-season tickets are on sale now, available to buy up till 5 PM on Thursday the 23rd of December 2021, which is the first fixture from which they will be valid. Half-season tickets make for the perfect Christmas present for the Lion supporter in your life. You will receive all the same benefits as a regular season ticket holder, including priority purchase periods for away games and high-demand cup or playoff fixtures, entry into a monthly prize draw, and more. As an added bonus, if you purchase a half-season ticket before Friday the 3rd of December, so within the next week or so, you will receive a ticket to the Lions Sky Bet Championship game against Preston North End for free. Wow. Wow. Okay. So if you buy one of these in the next week, you'll get a free ticket to the Preston game. On the, is that the game before Christmas? I think it is, no? With the Lions placed just outside the top 6 and with festive period approaching, your support will be crucial if Gary Rowett's men are to continue pushing towards the top end of the table in the second half of the campaign. And yes, that is the last game before Christmas. But that's okay. So it looks like they bumped. So if you buy a half-season ticket in the next week or so, before 3rd of December, you'll get it valid from the Boxing Day games, which is when the Millwall Swansea game, which is when it starts. That's when it starts. But they're gonna bump it forward by giving you a free ticket to the game before that, which is the Millwall Preston game. How great is that? How great is that? That's fantastic. Absolutely. So it's a half-season ticket plus one if you buy it in the next week. Fantastic stuff there from Millwall. Brilliant. Prices start from $225 for adults, and then the rest for, as you can see, 20 quid for under sixes. Benefits include 120 loyal points, £10 worth of team card points, priority period for cup fixtures, discounted tickets for cup ties, 10% discount on matchday hospitality, 20% off room hire for non-matchday events, automatic inclusion in exclusive monthly prize giveaways, 5 team card points earned for every £1 spent in the Lion store, free access into Ari's bar on matchday, stadium tours discount. There you go. Interesting stuff there. Here's another thing. For the very first time, existing members can save big on half-season tickets. If you've already bought an adult membership for the current campaign, then they're going to take 20 quid off a half-season ticket for you. Because you're basically upgrading to a half-season ticket. You're already a member, so they're going to take 20 quid off the price of that for you. That is fantastic. It just keeps getting better and better. Wow. And they're also doing half-season hospitality. But I imagine you have to call for that because the prices will make your eyes water. Look at that platinum one. Half a bottle of wine. Where's the other half gone? Who drank that? How come they got all these half bottles of wines laying around? I'm joking. I don't know. They decant it. Yeah, there you go. So half-season tickets on sale now to start from the Boxing Day game against Swansea City. If you buy it in the next week, they're going to bump it forward by giving you a free ticket for the Preston North End game. Fantastic stuff there from Millwall. Yeah, so there you go. If you're interested, there you go. Or if you want to buy it as a present for someone, buy them the half-season ticket and keep the Preston ticket for yourself. Why not? Why not? Moving on now to this. So this popped up also on millfc.co.uk. Big day for Millwall OS today. A lot of stuff. I'm bringing you a lot of stuff from them today. Birmingham City fixture selected for overseas broadcast. What does that mean? So it means video coverage iFollow will not be available. Now, in this country, in the UK, we only get iFollow on midweek matches. But if you are not of the UK, you get iFollow on everything. All the games, except when it's selected for overseas broadcast, because the TV companies have paid for the rights to show it. So you have to find out which TV company is showing it in your country that you're in. Is Fox Sports or some BN, Al Jazeera, whatever, and they want you to watch it on that television channel, rather than paying them directly as part of the contract. So live video coverage of Millwall Sky Bet Championship home game with Birmingham City on Saturday 4th of December will be unavailable on iFollow to international subscribers. The fixture has been selected for overseas broadcast, meaning that video coverage from the Den will not be available. But you can still listen to it. So there you go. Now, if you live in a country where there is a television channel showing it for you, you probably will have access to it some way, either on some cable network, on a satellite network. Maybe a bar near you will be showing it if you're lucky. Maybe you can find out. But it is at 3 o'clock, so there might be a lot to choose from. I don't know. But yeah, if you're living in a smaller country, it's probably highly unlikely that there will be a broadcaster that will be picking it up. But even so, they're still going to be blocked out for you. They don't have the ability to do it country by country, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. Let's move on now to this. This also popped up
the club's official website, Millwall Christmas Tree of Remembrance. So they're doing this first. I think this is the first instance they're doing this event. So what is it? So this is on Thursday the 9th of December, 7 p.m. and it's at the Dens Memorial Garden, which is round kind of on the corner between the South Stand and the East Stand, the Docker Stand. Millwall Football Club is pleased to confirm details of the 2021 Christmas Tree of Remembrance taking place at the Dens Memorial Garden on Thursday the 9th of December. Supporters will be given the opportunity to write a message on a wooden heart to remember a loved one, which will then be hung on the Lions Christmas tree. The service, led by Father Owen Beaumont, MBE, will commence at 7 p.m. Gates will be open at 6 p.m. and is free for everyone to attend. Hot chocolate and mince pies will be provided for all attendees, with the bar open for those who wish to purchase further refreshments. The main car park at the Den meanwhile will be available on a first come first served basis with limited availability. To book your free attendance, please click here, and don't forget to wrap up warm as the service will take place outside. So there you go. Interesting little event there. These kind of things have been, this reminds me of the one that the Albans do. They didn't do it last couple of years because of COVID, but they do a similar event. I don't think it's not involving a Christmas tree, it's just a memorial thing, where people can go and remember past people who've died. So I imagine this will be similar. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what happens there. So that's on Thursday the 9th of December in a couple of weeks' time. If you're interested in that, might be something you may be interested in. There you go. Kind of mix between religion and paganism, using the Christmas tree with the names of past people being hung on it. There you go. Quite serious stuff there from Millwall. Moving on now to another story from the club's official website. Millwall Academy hiring head of coaching. So apply now. So what's this about? So Millwall Football Club's academy is looking to recruit a new head of coaching to deliver the academy coaching program for the club's under 9s to under 23s. The successful candidate will form part of the academy management team and report directly to the academy director, while being responsible for the running and implementation of the academy's coaching and CPD program. The academy are looking for an individual as relevant experience of the role and working with players in an academy environment. The successful candidate must be driven at developing relationships while managing, mentoring the full-time coaches, and will be expected to work across all departments, driving the coaching curriculum and games program across the phases. For a full job description and details of how to apply, click here. Closing date for applications is Friday the 3rd of December. They are not hanging around. That is just over a week. They are not hanging around. Shall we find out what it says? So please bear with me as it loads. So here you go. It's going to be, so you're going to have to work from Kidbrook Lane, Eltham. Okay, bit of football jargon there. What you need: essential and desirable requirements. Essential, UEFA A license. EOC candidate, whatever that means, I have no idea. A UEFA Pro license, desirable. FA Advanced Youth Award, essential. Up to date DBS, EFAF and Safeguarding Children certificate, that's essential. And a clean driving license. Oh, that is essential. So it's clean. So when you get a couple of points on your license, it does have a real world effect, because you can't apply for this job. Member of the FA Licensed Coaches Club desirable. Please only apply if you meet the above criteria. So basically, don't waste our time if you're not one of the above. So there you go. Not much going on there, but that's now. What is this? Is this responsible to academy director? I thought Ken Brown was doing this job. Is it Ken Brown? Is he leaving, or is he now the academy director? I don't know. Bit weird. Okay, but there you go. There's a job there. Again, you need the paperwork to do the job, and it's quite a specialist thing. Academy hiring head of coaching. It's probably, how many people meet those criteria in this country? About 1,000 or so. Interesting. So let's move on now. If you're still with us, don't worry. It's coming up. It's coming up now. The Bournemouth preview. AFC Bournemouth. So Millwall only have one major absence for den date against AFC Bournemouth. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press's online website. Millwall only have one absence for tomorrow night's home game against AFC Bournemouth. The Lions are ninth in the championship standings as they look to extend their unbeaten run to 4 matches. But they are without Jake Cooper after he picked up his 5th booking of the campaign in Saturday's 1-1 draw at Middlesbrough. Murray Wallace should be fully fit, Mill manager Garrett told the South London Press. He was okay to be on the bench at the weekend, but wasn't quite 100% fit. Now he should be fine. We had a couple of pick-up little knocks, but we expect them to be okay. Coops is the only one available, apart from Tyler Burry, who injured his hamstring while on loan at Hartlepool. We've got to balance off the Saturday game with a long journey as to whether we feel we need to make changes to freshen it up. That 3-game week with Hull at the weekend means I'm likely to make changes if I don't make too many tomorrow night. It's that balance you're always thinking about, getting the right intensity for both games instead of getting it in one and sacrificing it in the others. Hopefully we'll be making those decisions with a fullish squad. Bournemouth played Sunday and I presume had a journey back, then had to come up to us. Sometimes that Wednesday night one, when you've got a really intense physical game, when you then go and play Saturday, you need the energy again. Sometimes it's better to keep a settled side, and sometimes it's best to mix it up a little bit. We'll get a feel for that as the week goes on, and we'll try and utilise the squad where we can. There's no point otherwise having a decent sized squad. So what does that mean? Does that mean we are going to see Afobe not playing? Because I think he did that before. He brought Bradshaw in. I think it was the Huddersfield game where we absolutely dire. But we will see. I think he's going to switch up a bit, bring a few in, drop a few out. So we will see. So moving on now, we're going into the Bournemouth preview. So this is from 11v11.com. It's their head-to-head record between Millwall and Bournemouth. Now, before they were called AFC Bournemouth, they called themselves AFC Bournemouth to make sure that they're always on the top of football clubs alphabetically. You can see on the right hand side, basically, they are the always at the top of the alphabetical listings of football clubs because they called AFC Bournemouth, not Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth. And before that, they were called Bournemouth and Boscombe Athletic. I really didn't know that they were called that, but it's a bit of a shock to find out. I imagine there's a few old timers on here who remember that. They probably went to one of these games. Because the last time we played them when they were called Bournemouth and Boscombe Athletic was in 12th of April 1966. Now, as you can see, they were quite a small provincial team. Only recently, when they got a bit of investment, they got new ground and they made it into the Premier League. And now they're back down again, but they're still higher than they were. And you can see here all of these games when we first played them in 1923, all the way to until the 80s was in Division 3, Division 3 South and Division 3. And you can see we absolutely steamrolled them. Very few losses. There's like 2 there.
And then there's 2 in a row, 1956 and 1958. 4-3. And then 2-0. But then we go back to beating them. 5 games in a row, 4 of them without conceding a goal. But there's a massive gap between 66 and 1982. I assume that's because they stayed down in the dumps and we got promoted. I assume it's that. A couple of games in the 80s. And we lost a couple there, so we start to lose a bit more. Then we get to the 90s where this is when they start to get a bit better, get a bit of investment going into them. And then they start coming to the den and beating us. So 1987 they won. We beat them in the League Cup. And in 1990. So that was when we were really good. We were in the we were in the top division by then. In that season. Then we didn't play them for 7 years until 1997. And we lost 3 games in a row to them. Which is unheard of in history. And then 2000, we beat them 3-1. Then we lost to them again in 2001. Then we had 6 games in a row beating them. Quite a few cup games there. Johnson's Paint Trophy, FA Cup, League Cup. 4-0 in the League Cup we beat them, 2009. Not that long ago, but well, I say not that long ago. Was it 12 years now? So time flies, huh? And 2014 we beat them. They beat us. FA Cup again, we won 3-0, beat them. And then we get to the most recent result, which is the worst ever result of a Millwall AFC Bournemouth game, losing 4-1. Now this was at the end of April last year. There was still a mathematical chance that we could get into the playoffs, but it was all but done. And I think the players are kind of given up, and you could see that with the Coventry game as well. We got absolutely smashed. They were already on the beach, already on vacation. It was quite a long old season as well. And that was the worst ever result against Bournemouth at home. They absolutely smashed us. That is the worst. The previous worst was probably the 4-3. It was only a 1 goal difference, but to concede 4. So as you can see, we usually beat them. More often than not, we beat them. But the last time out, they absolutely smashed us. So what does that say? Is this a new trend that's going on now? Because you go back to that one where we lost 4-3. The next game we lost to them as well. So we're going to lose this game coming up now? Or are we going to revert to the norm and start beating them again? Don't know. I don't know. But what does David Pratton think? So this is from SkySports.com. David Pratton predicts the games every week. Or every round. Midweek and weekend. So what does he say? Where are we? Let's keep scrolling down till we find our game. Here we go. So Millwall versus Bournemouth. Oh yeah. If you didn't know, you can buy a match pass and watch it on iFollow. You can watch it on Sky Sports Red Button. The midweek games, you can watch them. Millwall are going about their business very quietly this season, but are right up there amongst the sides who could well sneak into the top 6 if things go their way between now and May. Bournemouth slipped up on Sunday. The gap between themselves and the chasing pack for their top 2 spot is still big, but it can quickly close if they keep stumbling, and I feel this could be another stumbling block. Pratton predicts 1-1. Okay. So, he's predicting 1-1. Let's move on to whoscored.com. So, like I said, this website's hit and miss now. They're saying there's no missing players, as I've already told you. Jake Cooper's suspended from booking, so they didn't get that right. So match facts.
And you know what? I'm gonna go on this one first. Some match facts on the right hand side. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in 11 of Millwall's last 13 games in the Championship. So we don't score a lot, and we don't let the opposition score a lot. There have been over 2.5 goals scored in Bournemouth's last 3 games in the Championship. Aha, so they score a lot as well. So as you can see here, the last 6 games of Millwall versus Bournemouth. So, interestingly, that one game that we did lose in December 2014, we had a player sent off. So maybe if that hadn't happened, we would have won it like we normally win all the other games. And as I've said, that result last year was the worst ever. Now here's the thing: in the last 6 games, 4 of them have been won by Millwall, 2 of them have been won by Bournemouth, and there haven't been any draws, which is interesting. Let's go back to this and see, when was the last draw? Well, there's never any draws. Look at this. When was the last draw? The last draw was in 26th of February 1955. There have only been 2 draws. This is insane. There have only been 2 draws in all those games. So from this one here, right, going all the way down to this game here, must be it must be like 30 or so games. There have only been 2 draws. Both of them have been 1-1. One was in 6th of November 1926, and this game coming up is in November as well. And the other one was in March. No, missed that. Where is it? Missed it. I scrolled past it. Where is it? So 19th of December 1953. No, 26th of February 1955. So there have been 2 draws out of 30 or so games of Millwall versus Bournemouth. That is insane. The least opportunity of draw of a game, of a fixture. I doubt there's another fixture like this of a team that we played so often, and we never drew with them. That really is insane. So let's go back here. So, is it overdue? Now we know Gary Rowett loves a draw. I'm sure he would love to draw tomorrow. I'm sure he'd absolutely love to draw tomorrow. So let's have a look at this. So here we go in the table. They are second. They've won 12 games. They've drawn 4, lost 2. Millwall is 10th in the table, won 6, half of what Bournemouth have won. Drawn 8, second most in the league, lost 4. Goals for 18, goals against 18. Bournemouth has scored 33 goals. That is a lot. That is a lot. So here we go. If you look down, hang on. I'm all over the place today. What's happening here? So in the form table, the last 6 games in the league, Bournemouth is second, Millwall 4th. We've actually lost only 1 game in the last 6. They've lost 2. That doesn't look that bad over the last 6 games, does it? And you can see here, so let's have a look on the left hand side. Millwall home games. Millwall's last 6 home games. Only kept a clean sheet against Bristol and Reading. Conceded in all the other games. Failed to score against Luton and Leicester. And we've got 2 defeats, 3 wins, and 1 draw. Bournemouth's last 6 away games. Now they got battered to Derby. They lost 3-2 to Derby on Sunday. Now it was a 12 noon kickoff. But here's the thing now, Gary Rowett, he's got links to Derby. I don't, in terms of the people who are there now, but with the club and the town and whatnot, I'm sure he will have some kind of eye on that game. Hopefully he's learned a thing or two about how to beat Bournemouth, and he probably won't, hopefully, but I'm sure he'll still play for the draw because he loves the draw. But look at this, in the last 5 away games before that, they kept a clean sheet. So we all got going on about how many goals they're scoring, all the goals they're scoring. In 5 away games in a row, maybe more, this just goes back 6 games, they kept a clean sheet. Now that's insane. In this league, to keep clean sheets. Now obviously something's happened here. They've come back from the international break. Did they let the players have a bit too much of an easy time? Did they let them have a couple extra days off? Because they figured, oh, you're at the top of the league, you're doing well. Let's take the foot off the gas. Maybe. Now, tomorrow is going to be absolutely freezing. We had an extra day's rest more than what they did. So that's helpful for us. Here's a few things here you can see. I'm not going to read them all out, but very weak is Bournemouth's avoiding fouling in dangerous areas. Are we looking at a set piece smash and grab for Millwall? Maybe. So match forecast, Millwall will score from a direct free kick, extremely likely. Wow. So the computer basically says, because they give away a lot of free kicks in dangerous areas, and we got Jed Wallace, it's highly likely that we'll score from a direct free kick. Millwall will dominate in the air, very likely, and Millwall will make a comeback if they go behind. Yellow likely. Okay, so that's interesting. So it's all looking very good, isn't it? It's all looking very good. So now we're going to get to the actual prediction. So we've read those match facts. So let's go down. Prediction. The Championship's draw specialists were at it again on Saturday with a Solbamber own goal, earning Millwall a 1-1 draw on their travels. Gary Rowett's men have been remarkably consistent this season after overcoming a shaky start and are now just 3 points off the playoff places. Bournemouth have come crashing back down to earth in the last 3 matches, losing to Preston and Derby after going unbeaten in the first 15 league games of the season. These defeats have seen the Cherries drop below Fulham and into second place. They predict Millwall 1, Bournemouth 2. Okay, that is interesting. So, what do I think? No, I want to believe. I've read the history of the fixture. There's only been 2 draws. Millwall have won most of the home games. We've had an extra day's rest. They lost their last game to Derby. I want to believe that we can beat them. In the form table, we're not that far behind. We've lost less games than they have in the last 6. I want to believe. But still got this dour draw mentality that I'm believing in. Like Gary Rowett's going to go out there and try and draw. It's going to be freezing tomorrow. Now Solanke, he's their top scorer with 14 goals. He's notorious for wearing gloves, so even when it's not that cold. So will they have trouble performing? Will they not like it up and when it's freezing cold? Now, I don't know. I want to believe. That we can go out and win this Now, historically, you would be an idiot for not backing Millwall. It's a midweek game. It's under the lights. It's gonna be freezing cold. Literally, they've put the sprinklers on. It'll be a bit frosty and come in the morning. I want to believe. What do I say? It could go either way. I can see us winning this, and I can see it being a draw, and I can see us losing heavily. I could see it being anything. I am going to say that it's gonna be Millwall 3, Bournemouth 1. You see that? I think it's going to be Millwall 3, Bournemouth 1. I think they're going to be attacking us too much, which means we can counter-attack them. And we are going to score by doing that. Because they're going to attack too much, something's obviously happened with their defence. It's going to be shaky since the international break. Maybe they have players injured or whatnot. But I think they're going to attack us too much, and we're going to stop them, and we're going to counter-attack as well. And we're going to get results from that. Because I don't think Afobe will play. I don't think he can do 3 games in a week. So I think they're gonna use him for the whole game. Although he used to play for Bournemouth, so I think he did, didn't he? Yeah, I don't think he will start tomorrow. So we will see. Mason Bennett plays. I can see him doing well, especially on the counter. If they counter us, if they come too hard at us, Mason Bennett's playing. I can see us countering hard against them, and I can see it being 3-1. Call me crazy, but I just want to believe. I want to believe that we can win, and it would be the Millwall way. To be honest, it would be the Millwall way to draw to Derby, who are bottom of the league. They are bottom of the league on points deduction. If it wasn't for that, they would be bottom mid-table technically. But we do shit against the teams at the bottom, and we do well against the teams at the top. Somehow we pull our fingers out and get the job done against teams at the top. So yeah, I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to say Millwall 3, Bournemouth 1. We will see. We will see. We will see. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, goodbye.